We got Matthew on the line from Virginia. Hi, Matthew.
You know about the iMessage thing about...
Oh. You know, I haven't talked about it too much. You know why? I don't want people to know about it. Apple hasn't fixed it yet.
Yeah, like people sending me like these...
Of course, if you're a student, if you're in school, I bet you all your buddies have been crashing your phone right and left.
Yep.
There is you can send a string of weird characters to an iPhone, and it will crash the phone. Not just, in fact, not just the phone. I mean, I think it crashes other things too. I think it could be used in other contexts as well. Apple's temporary fix. You want to know what the temporary fix is?
What is it?
Here's what they said. Apple is aware of an iMessage issue. It's an issue caused by a specific series of Unicode characters, and we will make a fix available in a software update someday. However, by the way, the message crashes the iPhone followed by a reboot. And if you attempt to reopen messages after the reboot, the app crashes again. If it's in list view, I'll have to take a break and tell you there's a 4-step fix. Leo Laporte, the tech guy, right after this. Leo Laporte, the tech guy, 8888. Ask Leo. Bucky Bitt in our chat room said, that's not hacking. That's typing. It is typing. It's a... It's an interesting flaw. We're talking with Matthew about the... Has anybody done it to you, Matthew?
Yeah. So I kind of did. I actually kind of had it to me coming. So I'm like... So I told my friend told me... He's like, oh, yeah, I can get away with your iMessage. I'm like, no, you can't. All right, send it to me.
And it went bam.
And then I was like, no, please, no, this can't be happening.
It looks like gobbledygook. It's actually, it's all characters from different languages. The iPhone, as most modern devices, instead of using ASCII, you may be familiar with that idea of encoded text called ASCII. ASCII only can support 127 different characters. The world's languages need many, many more. So a few years ago, a specification called Unicode was created that uses more bits and can handle all the characters of all the alphabets in the world, plus a few extra, quite a few extra. So these are Unicode. It's not something that would be easy for you to type in. I mean, you could, but what most people do is they just copy and paste it. If they paste these weird-looking characters and send it to you, it will crash your iPhone. Apple's fix. You ready for this? Apple says if Messages quits unexpectedly after you get a text, Apple is aware of an iMessage issue caused by a specific series of Unicode characters. We will make a fix available. I bet you will have an update in the next few days because this is pretty bad. Until the update's available, use these steps to reopen. Are you ready?
Yeah.
You have to ask Siri. You say, hey, Siri, read unread messages. Use Siri to reply to the malicious message. So I wonder what it sounds like when Siri reads that message. That would be kind of interesting. But she'll go, would you like to reply? You say yes, and you reply, stop messing with me. And it says, Apple says, after the reply, you'll be able to open messages again. If the issue continues, tap and hold the malicious message, tap more, and delete the message from the thread. This doesn't tell you how to stop your friends from sending it to you again and again and again. So it really isn't a fix, is it? It's
no, not at all.
And if you're in middle school, you can pretty much guarantee your phone will be crashed. Now, Chat has told me that they believe there's if you turn off notifications for messages, it'll stop doing this. I don't know if that's the case, but because you would think Apple would
like fix it.
Would say it if that worked, right? But isn't that weird? Isn't that weird?
Like, literally, I thought it was fake. My friend...
I know. Well, let me explain. You know what? This is useful. This is we'll make this... don't they do this in your school every once in a while? This is a teaching moment. Let's have a teaching moment. What do you say, Matthew? Okay. So, you know how this works? It's kind of interesting. I'm theorizing, because, of course, Apple hasn't said. But this is probably in a class of very common hacks, exploits, and crashes called a buffer overflow. In order to print those text messages, you know, you have a text printing engine on the iPhone. And what probably happened is that the messages overflowed the amount of space, the area allocated for them in this rendering application. When it did that, stray garbage got written to other parts of memory and could crash the program or crash even the whole computer, depending on where that memory got written. Now, that at first is merely a malicious attack. It's just annoying, right? You have to turn the phone back on, go through the "Hey Siri, read me on your unread messages," et cetera, et cetera.
And then I have to say, "Hey Siri,
yeah,
this to my friend." Yeah.
But almost all really serious exploits start this way, with a crash. Because the next step now is the hacker says, I got the buffer overflow to happen. I was able to write to an area of memory. Now he plays with it in such a way, trying to write to an area of memory so that he can write some malicious code and then get that code executed by moving the stack somewhere and pointing the stack pointer so it would execute code in that new area of memory. And you know what? That's where almost all of the major security flaws come from. Buffer overflows that are followed by executing code on the remote computer. So it's something to take very seriously. Now it's just annoying down the road and could happen sooner than later, because believe me, as soon as hackers see a buffer overflow, they go, yeah, and they start messing with it. It takes a lot of dedication and time, a lot of trial and error, because they're not sure exactly, where the code is going to be and how to jump to it. But eventually they figure it out, and that's when you get a really serious problem. That's when they can do things like take over your phone. So I would do whatever you can. Maybe just turn off your phone for a little while, because this could get much more serious. Apple, you can bet, is rushing to fix it.
Yeah, luckily I have other things like Kick and stuff like that to use.
Yeah. Renee Ritchie, my friend at iMore, says you can prevent crashes from the lock screen. Launch the Settings app from your iPad or iPhone home screen. Tap on Notifications, tap on Messages, and then toggle Show on Lock Screen to off. You don't want to see that text on your lock screen. Now, interestingly, this is also crashing Apple Watches. It's interesting. It shows you the code's common in Apple Watches and Apple phones. So in the Apple Watch app on your iPhone or your iPad, I guess it would only be the iPhone, tap on Notifications, tap on Messages, tap on Custom, and toggle Show Alerts to off. Now, that's going to kind of make messages less than useful on the Apple Watch, but you only have to do it.
There goes your $10,000 Apple Watch.
Yeah. I hope Pharrell and Katy Perry are listening to this show, don't you? And then you want a clear notification center to prevent crashes. There's all sorts of stuff. We'll put a link to Renee's article at imore.com. There's a lot of things you might want to do. This is very bad. But to be fair, this could happen to anybody, anytime. Computers are not perfect. Really, the test of this will be how quickly Apple can fix it. If Apple pushed out a patch today, then we would just stop. It would be over. If they wait till next week, that's a problem.